Okay, so when you think about a great leader, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Their genius strategy, maybe their sky-high IQ? And yeah, those things definitely matter. But what if I told you the single most powerful leadership tool isn't something you learn from a book? It's something that's already inside all of us. Today, we're digging into why the absolute best leaders aren't just the smartest people in the room, they're the most emotionally intelligent.
So here's what we're going to cover. First up, we'll get into why your EQ, your emotional quotient, is really the secret weapon for any leader today. Then, we're going to get super practical with a tool I love called the 10-second reset. After that, we'll talk about how to go from all that inner chaos to a place of real clarity. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at the huge impact your emotions have, something we're calling your leadership echo.
I want you to just let that sink in for a second. Seriously, the way you manage your emotions will define the way you lead. This isn't just some feel-good quote, It's the core idea of everything we're talking about today. The goal here isn't to be a robot and have no emotions. It's about being a strategist with your emotions. And trust me, that skill is a total game changer.
All right, so let's jump right into our first section, Beyond IQ, the EQ edge. Because here's a truth that I think we all kind of forget sometimes. People don't just automatically follow the smartest person in the room, right? They follow leaders who make them feel seen, who make them feel heard, and who make them feel safe. It's all about those qualities, that sense of calm, being present, and real empathy.
And this comparison right here, it nails it. Think about it like this. Your IQ, your smarts, that might get you in the door. It'll land you the job. But it's your EQ that's going to decide how far you go once you're there. I mean, you can be a technical genius, but if you can't connect with people, if you can't understand where they're coming from and guide them, you're basically trying to lead with one hand tied behind your back.
Okay, so what exactly is emotional intelligence? First things first, let's get rid of the idea that this is some fluffy, soft skill. It's not. This is a core strategic ability. It's not about suppressing your feelings and becoming some kind of emotionless robot. It's about being emotionally available, like present and tuned in, instead of being emotionally reactive, just flying off the handle. Making that shift from reactive to available, oh man, it changes everything.
And look, it's not some big mystery. It's really built on 4 key pillars. It all has to start with you, right? With self-awareness. Just asking, do I actually know what I'm feeling right now? And why? Then, once you know that, it's about self-management. Can you stay calm and intentional when things get heated? Only after you've got a handle on yourself can you look outward to social awareness, reading the room, picking up on what other people are feeling. And all of that comes together in the final piece, relationship management. That's where you use all that insight to communicate with real empathy.
Okay, so that's the big picture. Now let's get practical. This brings us to section 2 and our first real tool, the 10-second reset. Because let's be honest, anyone can lead when things are going great. The real test, the thing that separates good from great, is what happens in that tiny split-second space between something happening and how you react to it.
I mean, you know the feeling, right? That email hits your inbox, the one with that tone, and you can literally feel your blood pressure start to rise. Or you get an update on a project and it's just a complete train wreck. What's your gut instinct? Fire back a snarky reply, right? Get defensive, react. That split second, that's the moment we're talking about.
And this is where this amazing, simple little tool comes in. Just remember PBR. Pause, breathe, respond. The second you feel that wave of anger or frustration rising, just pause, stop. Don't type, don't speak. Then take just one slow, deep breath. In and out. That's it. That tiny little action acts like a circuit breaker. It gives you just enough space to go from a knee-jerk reaction to a thoughtful response. And that's why that little pause is so incredibly powerful. When you can master that moment, you're not just controlling yourself, you are literally creating stability for everyone around you. When everything is chaos, you become the calm anchor in the storm. And let me tell you, people are drawn to that. That's what magnetic leadership feels like.
And that leads us perfectly into our third section, from chaos to clarity. So, you've used the PBR method. You've created that little bit of space. Awesome. Now what? Well, now the real work starts. The next step is to actually look inside and figure out what's really going on. It's all about taking those messy, jumbled feelings and turning them into something clear you can actually work with.
Think about this. How many times a day or a week do you just say, ugh, I'm so stressed? We all do it. But stressed is kind of a junk drawer word, isn't it? We just throw everything in there. But what's really underneath it? Are you feeling fear because a deadline is creeping up? Or maybe guilt about something you messed up? Or is it the crushing pressure from your boss? You can't deal with the problem until you know what the real problem is.
And that brings us to this really simple but powerful idea: you have to name it to tame it. The second you can put a specific label on what you're feeling, you take away its power. It's like the emotion was driving the car, and by naming it, you've just calmly told it to move over to the passenger seat. Now, you're back in control.
And here's a super simple tool to help you do exactly that. Seriously, try this next time. Just fill in the blanks. Right now, I'm feeling blank because blank. For example, right now, I'm feeling anxious because I'm not ready for this presentation. See? All of a sudden, that big, messy cloud of stress becomes a clear problem you can solve. It's magic. Okay, so once you start getting better at understanding your own inner world, you can start using that exact same muscle to understand other people. And that's really what empathy is all about. Look, empathy isn't about swooping in to fix everyone's problems. It's just about making a genuine connection. And there's a simple 3-step formula for it. First, just listen. Like, really listen. No interrupting. Second, reflect back what you heard to show them you get it. And third, ask a curious question to learn more.
So here's what that sounds like in real life. Imagine someone on your team is upset. Instead of arguing, you could say, "It sounds like you're feeling really frustrated because you feel like your hard work wasn't recognized. Did I get that right? See what you did there? You named the emotion, frustrated. You stated the reason, effort wasn't recognized. And then that last part, did I get that right? That little question is pure gold. It turns a confrontation into a conversation.
So all these things we've been talking about, knowing yourself, managing yourself, connecting with others, it all leads to this final huge idea: your leadership echo. This is where we zoom out a bit. Because here's the thing, your emotional state is never just about you. It sends out ripples, an echo, that affects your entire team, your entire organization.
And really, if you only remember one thing from our time together, let it be this. This isn't about controlling your emotions in the sense of bottling them up. No way. It's about channeling them. Think of yourself like the conductor of an orchestra. You're taking all of that powerful emotional energy and directing it into something useful, something productive. You're turning it into motivation and connection and clarity.
And it really is this simple. Your calm is contagious, but guess what? So is your chaos. The energy you walk into a room with, it's infectious. You are setting the emotional tone. As a leader, your mood basically becomes the weather forecast for the entire team for the day.
So, as we finish up here, I just want to leave you with one final thought, one question. Every single day, every meeting you walk into, every email you send, you're making a choice. And your leadership is really just the echo of that choice, day in and day out. So, the question is, what energy are you going to choose to spread?